My name is Michelle Welch, and I am Director of Results-Driven Government at the Laura and John Arnold Foundation. And I'm here today because of a problem that I spend every day working to address. That problem is that we are ignoring one of the most promising tools in decades to fight poverty, homelessness, reincarceration, and other issues. That tool is data and evidence. But we're not talking about it. Taxpayers aren't talking about it, reporters aren't talking about it, and even governments are not talking about it. But today I'm thrilled to introduce you to a group of individuals who are going to put data and evidence to use to make Texas better. We're calling this organization the Texas Policy Lab, and it's a unique model for public-private partnerships that other states are replicating across the country. The idea is to bring together the nation's best researchers with policy officials, service providers, and others to understand how we get more kids through college, how we break the cycle of incarceration, and how we move families out of poverty. Policy labs harness the research capacity of our universities for the good of taxpayers. The Texas Policy Lab will join a national network of 9 policy labs. Since the Laura and John Arnold Foundation started funding this initiative several years ago, the labs have launched more than 150 projects that have led to shifts in government spending towards programs that are working and bipartisan legislative action. These teams helped Colorado officials uncover why foster care youth dropped out of high school at much higher rates than their peers. They tested ways to reduce jail overcrowding in California. And they conducted a path-breaking study evaluating the impact of school suspensions on academic performance. Result of that study, Texas banned the practice for nonviolent offenses from pre-kindergarten through 2nd grade. The reason why the Veterans Commission, the Department of Criminal Justice, and the Department of Family Protective Services are here today is because they see the power of this idea and of this partnership. By working together, these folks, and the company of many of you guys, will be able to use data and evidence to improve the lives of Texans. Okay, so it is August, and we do not have a medic on standby, so without further ado, it is my sincere pleasure and honor to introduce you to Dr. Antonio Merlot, Dean of the School of Social Sciences at Rice University and visionary behind the Texas Policy Lab. Thank you.
In suburban and metro areas alike, Texas is experiencing explosive growth. The U.S. Census Bureau reports that 7 of the 15 fastest growing American cities are located in our great state. I know that I got here as fast as I could. A robust and growing population means more demands on social and economic programs at every level of government. As we adjust our resources to the requirements of a growing population, we recognize that social investments must efficiently target the policies and programs on our most critical challenges. To have a demonstrable impact on these challenges, we need more strategic, evidence-based approaches to developing policies. We need a continuous, consistent effort to understand what programs work and what circumstances, resources, and expertise are required for success. A deeper understanding of our state social programs will help guide taxpayer dollars into projects that promise the best value. This is the most effective way to maximize public resources and the impact of public resources. For this reason, and many more, we are excited to announce that the Laura and John Arnold Foundation has made a generous grant to launch the Texas Policy Lab within Rice University School of Social Sciences. Using cutting-edge research, the Texas Policy Lab will work directly with Texas policymakers to develop measurable solutions to the state's most pressing problems. This will be accomplished by bridging the gap between data, research, and policy making. In other words, by using evidence to develop, implement, and refine state programs. We will provide scientific, independent, and timely analysis to our partners in order to ensure policies and programs are producing optimal outcomes for the constituents they aim to serve. The research agenda of the Texas Policy Lab will be set by Texas state agencies and policymakers with the ultimate goal to help Texans lead healthier, happier, and more productive lives. This will require wisdom, diligence, and a commitment to developing productive, long-lasting relationships between Texas Policy Lab and government partners. During the run-up to this announcement, we have entered into substantive discussions with several state agencies regarding their interest in partnering with us. We have representatives from some of these departments here today. Let me reiterate our gratitude to the Arnold Foundation for their visionary support. Now, we are just anxious to get to work. Thank you very much.
I'm now honored to introduce you to Al Cantu, Chairman of Texas Veterans Commission. Today, Al will talk to you about how they intend to partner with the Texas Policy Lab to improve the quality of life for Texas veterans and their families.
Thank you very much. What a great honor it is. First of all, let me say thank you to the Arnold Foundation, Rice University, and our partners that are joining us in this very, very productive and meaningful project. Our main focus is our veterans. We have approximately 1.7 million veterans in the great state of Texas. We have approximately 136,000 plus women veterans. So we're a big, big group. And we want to make sure that as they come home and join our communities, that they have the opportunity to level the playing field, that education, that grants are there, employment, fund for veterans assistance. And by joining together with the Arnold Foundation and Rice, we know that this will come about. It is very, very important to our veterans. They have put their lives on the line to ensure that our communities and our cities and our nation continues to be free, a nation of freedom for all, regardless of your politics. So it is extremely, extremely an honor to represent the Texas Veterans Commission and the four other commissioners, one, Kevin Barber, who is here. The other three could not be because of other commitments. Tom Palladino, our executive director, who look forward to working together hand in hand and ensuring that this project is a success. Once again, thank you, Arnold Foundation, thank you, Rice University, and thank all of you for joining in this effort. Thank you all.
Our next speaker is Sasha Rasco, Associate Commissioner of Prevention and Early Intervention at the Department of Family Protective Services. Sasha has had an extraordinary career, spending almost 20 years here in Texas supporting early childhood and foster care initiatives. We look forward to hearing her innovative ideas on how the Texas Policy Lab can help the state in their efforts to improve the lives of our most precious asset, our children.
Good morning. I'll also thank both the Rice University and Arnold Foundation for this opportunity to partner on finding data-driven ways to, in our case, prevent child abuse and neglect in the state of Texas. I have the privilege of getting to run the prevention arm of our agency, an agency that has the very difficult task of responding to families and children at their worst, when there's already abuse or neglect going on in the home. And then of course we also have the responsibility for caring for our vulnerable adults, our elderly, and our disabled. But I get to do the job of looking upstream at what we could have done to help those families or those children earlier. And we fund evidence-based programs already, so we're already committed to an evidence-based strategy. But what was really phenomenal or striking to me about this opportunity to work with the Texas Policy Lab in its early stages was their commitment to meeting state agencies where they are in their problems and in their challenges, rather than bringing their own academic agenda or their own research agenda, or in some cases, I mean, likewise with the Arnold Foundation, a specific agenda around policy making or programming. And instead, what they've done, which is very unique, is say, we're here to bring brain power to you, and you drive the agenda, and we want to help you solve the problems you're struggling with. And for us, that's exactly diving deeper into data. Texas is a very large state. What might work for children in Amarillo is not going to be the same thing that works for children in McAllen or in Houston or out in rural Texas. And we can use all the help we can get in really understanding our children and our families and what we can bring to them that will be effective in making their lives better. So thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. Our last speaker today is Jason Clark, the Chief of Staff at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Criminal justice is a high priority issue area not only for our state, but for states across the country. And Jason and his colleagues at the department have some very thoughtful ideas on how the Texas Policy Lab can assist in identifying ways to improve outcomes.
Let me begin by saying thank you to the Arnold Foundation. It's obvious that Laura and John Arnold are individuals that care deeply about making the world around them a better place, and it's obvious that that passion is contagious as you look around. We're excited to be a part of this new and innovative partnership with the Texas Policy Lab. Criminal justice system in Texas has made some great strides over the last decade. Fewer people are coming to prison. Fewer people are returning to prison. That's in large part because of the investments made by lawmakers into programs that work. Those investments are paying dividends. Just this year, we closed our 8th correctional facility in Texas, and that's pretty amazing when you think about it. But we have a lot to be proud of. But we also know that the system is not perfect, and there are areas where we can improve. And this is why we believe that this partnership is so important. The Texas Policy Lab's research can strengthen our ability to make the criminal justice system even better, to improve the lives of offenders, to prevent future crime victims, and most importantly, to keep the public safe. So thank you again to the Arnold Foundation, thank you to Rice University and the Texas Policy Lab for their commitment to the state of Texas. Thank you.